Hello. This is your Zodiac Oracle speaking. There are no coincidences. You are here because life wants to show you a sign. Open your heart and receive the guidance that arrives for you today. Libra. You feel this whisper like a thread of light brushing your skin, a murmur that tells you that harmony is born not from silence, but from a storm finally understood. That is the key that begins to open your path today. The balance you've been searching for has never been outside of you, Libra. It is the echo of a truth you were meant to remember. And as I place the first card before me, something shifts in the invisible. You are hearing this now because destiny pressed its fingerprints onto your hour, nudging you here with the precision of sacred timing, not accidental curiosity. The universe isn't improvising with you. It is delivering a message that needed your exact breath, your exact moment, your exact state of mind to awaken. And I need you to stay with me until the very end, because what I'm about to reveal is something that has been trying to reach you for months, circling your life like a shadow waiting for its unveiling. There is a subtle tremor in your energy, a mixture of anticipation and exhaustion. You have walked with grace through corridors where others would have collapsed. You have offered softness even when confronted with stone. You have attempted neutrality even when people around you spilled hidden envy and concealed intentions behind their smiles. And now the cards tell me that your spirit is tired of carrying what was never yours. There is a battle behind your recent days, a quiet one, invisible to others, but one that has left your inner world trembling like a candle in wind. The universe shows me that someone has underestimated you. Someone believed that your gentleness made you predictable, controllable, easy to place in the background like a painting they didn't appreciate but still wanted to keep on the wall. But you are not a decoration. You are a force that moves like water. Able to reflect the moon, able to flood valleys, able to carve canyons. The moment you stop holding back, destinies rearrange themselves. I see a figure behind you, not physically but energetically, a hidden adversary. Someone who enjoys the idea of watching you doubt yourself. Someone who smiles in your presence but crumbles into bitterness when you succeed. Their energy has been pressing onto your field like a hand against glass. Not enough to break it, but enough to leave fingerprints. And yet, divine justice is stirring. What is hidden is about to be revealed, and what was unfair is about to be corrected. You will soon understand why certain situations felt delayed, why certain opportunities were stalled, why certain people disappeared before you could insist they stay. The universe was rearranging the stage so you could walk forward without carrying those who only held you back. As I turn the second card, I hear a phrase pulsing like a heartbeat through the reading. I reclaim the path that is rightfully mine. This sentence will return to you again and again, because it is your decree, your alignment, your awakening. Everything that follows in this message will spiral from that center. Your energy shows an internal contradiction, the desire to begin anew, and the fear of losing what is familiar. Even if what is familiar keeps hurting you. Do you feel it? That tug of war between wanting peace and tolerating chaos so others won't feel abandoned? You have spent so much time negotiating with people who never negotiated with themselves. You have carried guilt that does not belong to you. You have apologized for things you didn't do. You have diminished your brilliance so others wouldn't feel overshadowed. But the universe is tired of watching you shrink to fit someone else's comfort. A new cycle is arriving, not gently, not slowly, but with the intensity of a door swinging open during a storm. New beginnings are not asking for your permission. They are demanding your participation. There is a message of urgency flowing right beneath your surface. If you do not act, the universe will act for you. If you do not detach, circumstances will detach for you. If you do not let go, something will be removed anyway. This is not a threat. It is liberation. The divine wants you free, and freedom often begins in disruption. The third card arrives like a whisper from a future version of you. A version that stands taller, breathes easier, and no longer questions whether they deserve abundance. That card shows me your finances beginning to shift. Subtly at first, then rapidly. Money begins to move in your life after a long period of stagnation, not because life suddenly becomes easier, but because you finally stop resisting your own worth. There is an opportunity that you have ignored or dismissed, something that seemed too big, too uncertain, too ambitious. The cards insist. You are underestimating your capacity. What seems overwhelming now will feel natural to you in less than 3 months. Your guides show me a color surrounding your aura. A shade of gold, luminous and warm. Gold is not only the color of abundance. It is the color of reclamation. When gold appears, it means your spiritual field is being polished, purified, elevated. Your luck begins to realign with you once you stop dimming yourself for others. And gold also speaks of justice. Universal justice, karmic justice, energetic justice. What was taken will be returned. What was unfair will be balanced. And the person who thought they could drain your light will soon find themselves facing the consequences of their own shadows. There is a sense of acceleration in your destiny. Life is moving quickly, faster than you may feel prepared for. But momentum is not the enemy. It is the proof that your stagnation has ended. Libra, the universe tells me to ask you something. Why do you fear becoming who you were always meant to be? Why do you cling to situations that no longer nourish your soul? Why do you keep defending people who have never once defended you? These questions are not accusations. They are invitations. An invitation to release the chains that you've mistaken for commitments. An invitation to stop carrying emotional debris that belongs to others. An invitation to step into the life that has been waiting for you since before you were born. As I turn the fourth card, everything changes. It arrives like lightning, splitting the path into two, forcing a revelation that cannot be unseen. This is the twist the universe has been preparing for you. Something you thought was lost is returning. Not a person, not a past situation, but a part of yourself that you buried in order to survive. A version of you that believed in miracles. A version of you that trusted your intuition. A version of you that walked with confidence instead of hesitation. That version is rising again, and when it does, everything that depends on your self-worth will rise with it. This moment in the reading feels like a quiet earthquake, subtle yet irreversible. You are shifting timelines, stepping away from the life you have tolerated and stepping toward the life you were destined for. The universe has been waiting for you to reclaim your voice, your courage, your truth. And as you do, the people who never valued you will begin to show their discomfort. Let them. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. It is their confrontation with the fact that you are no longer available to be used as their emotional cushion. The phrase echoes again. I reclaim the path that is rightfully mine. Say it within you. Whisper it. Feel its weight. Feel its authority. This is your decree. There is a prophetic tone in the air, a sense of something important approaching, and you need to be ready. A sudden message, an unexpected opportunity, or a revelation about someone's true intentions will arrive sooner than you think. When it does, you must choose yourself. You must choose clarity over confusion, progress over comfort, truth over illusion. Before this part of your reading closes, I want you to write in the comments a phrase that seals your transformation. Write, I walk toward the destiny that belongs to me. This is not only a decree, it is a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive what has been aligned for you. And as a symbolic gesture of gratitude to the divine for bringing this message to you at the perfect moment, honor it by interacting with this guidance. Your energy of appreciation returns to you multiplied, opening doors, aligning events, and calling in blessings that were waiting for your acknowledgement. This reading is far from finished. We have only opened the first fragment of what is coming. Your story is expanding, your destiny is awakening, and the next revelation will reshape everything you thought you knew about yourself. And as the energy of your decree settles around you like a shimmering veil, the universe pushes me deeper into what is unfolding behind the scenes. That quiet earthquake I mentioned is not just shaking loose old energies. It is rearranging your destiny in ways you have not imagined. When I breathe over the fifth card, your aura responds like a field of tall grass under a sudden sacred wind. You may not see it yet, but every step you are taking right now is being guided by a force that refuses to let you return to the version of yourself that lived in hesitation. You are walking into a chapter shaped by divine order, not human chaos. Something significant is happening around the way you value yourself. You are entering a phase in which you will no longer permit half-present people, postponed promises, delayed affections, or connections built on convenience. Your soul is tired of crumbs. It wants the feast it was always meant to sit at. And the universe is preparing the table. Not with noise, not with spectacle, but with precision, intention, and justice. You are being aligned with someone or something that will match the magnitude of your energy, not the insecurity of others. That hidden enemy I told you about, the one who has smiled through clenched teeth, the one who has monitored your steps, the one who has quietly wished to see your light dim, is beginning to lose their influence. Their shadow has been feeding off your doubt, and now that your confidence is rising, their power dissolves like smoke. The universe whispers, "Justice is your ally," and I see the scales tipping in your favor. You won't even have to confront this person. Their own intentions will work against them. What they wished for you circles back to them. What they tried to block for you becomes the very thing that frees you. Their lesson arrives, and your protection strengthens. Your guides show me a scene, a door closing softly behind you. Not slammed, not torn away. Closed with purposeful gentleness. This represents an ending that brings peace instead of chaos. It is the end of an illusion, the end of a cycle where you waited for someone to give you what you were always giving in excess. You may feel the emotional echo of this shift, but do not fear it. This ending is a birth disguised as a farewell. And right as that door closes, another swings open, not with violence, but with the certainty of destiny reclaiming its rightful place. The sixth card reveals itself like a sun rising after a long misunderstood night. It shows opportunity, momentum, awakening. It shows a change in your daily life that will ripple into your long-term future. A job offer, a new partnership, a project finally gaining traction, or a connection that has been waiting for divine timing. Something begins to move forward that has been frozen for too long, and its thaw is not accidental. It has been orchestrated. You may feel called to take a risk soon, something slightly outside your comfort zone. Do not fear this. Your comfort zone is where your past survived, but outside it is where your future thrives. The universe keeps repeating a message. When you choose yourself, you choose abundance. And abundance is not only money. It is clarity, peace, love, synchronicities, aligned relationships, opportunities that appear as if out of nowhere. Your energy is becoming magnetic. Libra. What once ran from you will now chase you. What once hid from you will now reveal itself. What once rejected you will now regret you. There is a spiritual glow around your field. A luminous softness that attracts what is meant for you while repelling everything that drains you. This glow is not random. It is the result of every moment you chose kindness over cruelty, truth over manipulation, patience over impulse. The universe never forgot those moments. Every good intention you released returns now as blessings shaped for your next chapter. As I turn the seventh card, the twist intensifies. The card shows me a truth you have avoided confronting. Someone from your past still thinks about you, still feels tied to you, still carries an unresolved emotional thread that binds them to your memory. This is not necessarily romantic. It can be a friend, a family member, someone who failed you, someone who didn't give you closure. Their energy stretches toward you like a shadow reaching for the light source it once ignored. But here is the revelation. They are not meant to return to your life. They are meant to understand what they lost. Your absence is their karma. Your distance is their awakening. The universe is not asking you to revisit this connection. It is asking you to heal from the wound it left. That healing becomes the final key that unlocks the abundance waiting for you. Your destiny is shifting you towards someone, or something, aligned with your growth, not your old story. And speaking of destiny, the cards begin to glow with the same golden aura that surrounds your energy. Gold again. Gold dripping from your future. Gold sealing your new timeline. Gold announcing that what was once delayed is now unstoppable. Your lucky numbers for this cycle appear like constellations forming in the dark. 4, 11, 22, and 33. These numbers are portals of alignment. When you see them, pause. Breathe. Receive. Something is synchronizing around you. Your lucky color radiates like molten metal touched by sunlight. Warm gold, again confirming your current spiritual alignment. Wear it, visualize it, imagine it wrapping you like a shield of clarity and prosperity. But let me take you deeper, because this reading has not yet reached its core. The universe shows me that your emotional energy has been protecting someone who did not protect you. A person who relied on your empathy but never offered theirs. Someone who expected your patience but never gave you stability. Your attachment to that connection, or even just its memory, has been blocking new love, new opportunities, new joy. And now the cosmos is intervening. You are being pulled away from emotional anchors and pushed toward emotional wings. Let me ask you something. Libra, why do you think the universe keeps bringing you messages about freedom? Why do you think the signs have been repeating? Why do you think you felt this message calling you today? Because you are stepping into the most transformative moment of your recent years. A cycle of confusion ends. A cycle of clarity begins. A cycle of fear ends. A cycle of faith begins. A cycle of scarcity ends. A cycle of abundance begins. And every twist, every setback, every tear, every disappointment was preparing you for this breakthrough. The phrase returns for the second time, stronger now, vibrating like a bell struck by cosmic intention. I reclaim the path that is rightfully mine. Feel how the words shift something in you each time they appear. Feel how they carve space in your destiny. Feel how they challenge the version of you that kept settling. The cards show me a future moment where you look back and finally understand why certain connections couldn't stay. They were too small for the destiny you are stepping into. Like trying to fit the sky inside a box. Impossible. Your work life continues to rise as well. I see recognition. A conversation that changes everything. Someone noticing your talent, your intelligence, your dedication. A new door in your professional life opens not because you ask, but because you deserve. You are stepping into a position where your skills cannot be ignored. There is also a message about money flowing more easily, almost unexpectedly. A debt resolved, an opportunity accepted, or a reward given. The universe has seen your effort, your resilience, your intention, and it responds in kind. But let me tell you something even more powerful. Your spiritual energy is reaching a level where you become untouchable, protected, surrounded, expanded. You will notice that certain people who once took your attention will no longer access your inner world. Your intuition sharpens. Your dreams intensify. Your visions become clearer. You begin to see the truth behind words, behind smiles, behind actions. Your third eye opens wider, and with it comes the revelation of a destiny that was always destined for you but required your awakening to activate. Before I close this section of your message, I want you to anchor your energy in a new decree. In the comments, write, "I open my life to what the universe kept waiting for me." This is your invitation to abundance, your vibration of gratitude, your signal that you are ready for what comes next. And just as before, as an act of energetic alignment, engage with this message so the universe sees that you are not merely listening. You are accepting, receiving, stepping into the life that is calling your name. The reading continues to unfold, Libra, and in the next part a revelation appears. And as your decree settles in the invisible, the air around the cards thickens with a sacred density, as if the universe itself is leaning closer, insisting that you pay attention to what comes next. The shift that has begun in your destiny is not subtle anymore. It is roaring beneath the surface like a river forcing its own expansion. Your energy is no longer matching the life you once tolerated, and because of that, the life you once tolerated can no longer contain you. The universe is breaking the walls from the inside out, and you are feeling the tremors. The next card glides forward on its own, as if chosen not by my hands but by your higher self. When it reveals its image, I see a symbol of liberation wrapped in shadow. This card is the mirror of truth, the one that shows things as they are, not as you wished they were. And the message is piercing, yet compassionate. Someone in your environment is not who they pretend to be. Not your hidden enemy, the one we already exposed. This is another person, someone closer than you think, someone whose intentions wobble between admiration and jealousy. They have benefited from your silence, from your generosity, from your inability to say no. They have leaned on you more than they admit, and in the process, they have become accustomed to receiving without offering. But here is where the universe intervenes. You are awakening to these energy imbalances. You are beginning to feel when someone's presence drains you instead of feeding you. You are noticing when words feel rehearsed, when affection feels conditional, when help feels transactional. This heightened awareness is not paranoia. It is intuition reclaiming its throne. Your inner voice is no longer whispering. It is speaking with clarity, pulling you away from anything that lowers your vibration. Your guides show me that your energy field has been absorbing emotional debris from others. Worries, fears, insecurities, doubts. But something remarkable is happening. Your aura is shedding everything that is not authentically yours. It is like watching light push away fog. As this fog dissolves, you begin to see yourself with brand new eyes. And now comes a revelation you are not expecting but deeply need. You have been preparing for a spiritual elevation long before you knew it. Every disappointment was an initiation. Every betrayal was a purification. Every delay was protection. Every ending was an unlocking. And now the energy around you is rising so quickly that the universe is rearranging your path to match this new frequency. You are no longer being guided, you are being propelled. This momentum touches your emotional life next. I see a person in your orbit, someone who either recently entered your life or is about to. Their energy feels different, stable, grounded, transparent. They do not come with confusion, they come with clarity. They do not come with games, they come with presence. They do not come to take, they come to offer. There is a strong indication of romantic energy here, but also a deeper spiritual connection. This is not infatuation. It is alignment. You must understand something essential. Your next emotional chapter requires your previous wounds to be acknowledged but not fed. The universe is not asking you to heal overnight. It is asking you to stop reopening doors that your soul closed for a reason. The love that is approaching, whether symbolic or literal, cannot coexist with someone who caused chaos in your past. There is no room for both. One connection was a lesson. The one coming is a blessing. And yet, I must tell you something. Before the blessing arrives, there will be a moment of test. A moment where the past tries to return. Not because you need it, but because it wants validation. It wants to see if you are still accessible, still willing to shrink, still willing to be available to someone who gave you so little. But now you know better. Your intuition is stronger. Your heart is wiser. When this test appears, choose yourself. Every destiny shift begins with a choice, and this one will be yours. The phrase emerges again, for the third and final time, vibrating like a prophecy that seals this entire reading. I reclaim the path that is rightfully mine. After this third repetition, the energy stabilizes, as if the universe has finally anchored your decree into your timeline. There is no going back now. You have chosen the higher road, the rightful road, the road aligned with who you are becoming. Let me take you deeper, because what comes next is the turning point. The cards show me a sudden change in your external circumstances. Something that limits you right now will be removed. Something that blocks you right now will dissolve. Something that frustrates you right now will shift. This change may look chaotic at first. Unexpected schedule changes, a surprising message, an opportunity that forces you to adjust quickly, a situation ending without warning. But behind the veil, it is divine intervention clearing your path. Your work life experiences a spark, an acceleration that feels almost unreal at first. Someone recognizes your potential. Someone recommends you. Someone opens a door that was previously closed. If you have felt overlooked, ignored, or undervalued, prepare for that to change. Your visibility increases, not because you demand it, but because your energy becomes impossible to ignore. Money begins to circulate more fluidly as well. There is a flow returning that was once blocked. You may receive news related to payments, raises, opportunities, contracts, collaborations, or rewards for past efforts. Something you did months ago comes back to bless you now. Your spiritual alignment becomes your shield. You will notice that certain people begin to distance themselves, not because you did anything wrong, but because your energy is no longer compatible with their vibration. Do not chase. Do not question. Let everyone who feels uncomfortable with your growth walk away. Their departure is part of your elevation. And now, the twist. One of the most important revelations in your reading so far. I see you standing at the crossroads of two timelines. In one, you stay as you are, careful, polite, hesitant, always prioritizing harmony even when it hurts you. In the other, you step fully into the authority of your soul. Decisive, radiant, empowered, aligned. The universe is pushing you toward the second timeline. That is the path where your blessings reside. To step into it, you must break a cycle that has repeated for years. A cycle of tolerating too much. A cycle of self-sacrificing. A cycle of giving endlessly. A cycle of apologizing for your light. A cycle of rescuing people who never rescue themselves. You are meant to break this cycle now. Not next month, not next year. Because once you break it, your destiny bursts open like a seed finally cracking after a long winter. Your love life heals. Your finances grow. Your opportunities multiply. Your intuition sharpens. Your peace deepens. Your confidence stabilizes. Your spiritual energy becomes unshakable. This is not metaphorical. It is literal. And the card that appears next confirms something extraordinary. You are entering a cycle of victory. Pure, unfiltered victory. Not survival. Not endurance. Not barely making it. Victory. Success earned by alignment. Abundance earned by authenticity. Love earned by truth. Peace earned by clarity. The universe shows me that the energy surrounding your next chapter is not soft. It is triumphant. You rise. Libra. You rise higher than you expect. You rise faster than you expect. And every person who doubted you will witness the rise they tried to delay. Before this part ends, the universe asks you to anchor yourself with one more decree. In the comments write, "I choose the life that is choosing me." And as a gesture of gratitude and alignment, interact with this message. Energy flows toward what you honor. When you honor the message multiplies its blessings toward you. What comes next is the climax of your entire reading. The revelation that ties together love, destiny, justice, and abundance. And now, as the final card reveals its presence, the room itself feels different. Heavier, denser, charged with a kind of sacred electricity that only appears when a destiny is about to be rewritten. This is the climax the universe has been guiding you toward from the beginning. Everything before this moment was preparation. Everything before this moment was calibration. But what is happening now is revelation. The energy around you glows like embers awakening beneath ashes that once convinced you they were cold. But you are discovering the fire beneath them. The fire that belongs to you alone. A fire that was never extinguished, only quieted by circumstances, responsibilities, and wounds you didn't deserve. And as this fire rises, your path lights up in front of you like a long, dark corridor suddenly illuminated by a divine hand. The final card is one of the most powerful in all of tarot. It is the card of liberation through truth, of destiny unfolding exactly as it must, even if it surprises you. This card does not simply predict. It confirms. It tells me that everything you have been struggling with internally, the doubts, the fears, the silent conflicts you carried alone, was part of an initiation. An initiation preparing you for a breakthrough that only a few souls experience in this lifetime. Your guides show me an image of you stepping out of a shadow that never belonged to you. A shadow cast by someone else's insecurity, by someone else's limitations, by someone else's jealousy. For years, you adapted to fit into spaces that were too small, relationships that were unbalanced, expectations that were beneath your potential. And yet you kept giving, kept loving, kept trying, hoping that your effort would change the outcome. But here's the final truth. You cannot heal people who use their wounds as excuses, and you cannot rise if you are carrying those who refuse to walk. This realization doesn't harden you. It liberates you. The universe now places before you the final stage of your transformation. Stepping into your divine identity without apology. And this is where everything in your reading shifts into prophecy. I see a future moment, so clear it feels like it's happening right now, where you look around and realize that nothing in your life feels the same. Not because life forced you into chaos, but because the universe rearranged everything so you could finally receive what was yours all along. Your living environment changes, or you feel the urge to move, renew, or reorganize your space. Your social circle shifts, eliminating those who whispered negativity behind your back. Your work life expands, pulling in opportunities that used to belong only to people with more connections, more confidence, or more access. Your finances stabilize. Not quickly but solidly. And somewhere in the middle of all of this, your heart opens again. Not through desperation, but through clarity. Because now, someone enters your life who does not want to dim your light but match it. Someone whose presence feels like exhaling after holding your breath for too long. Someone whose energy does not ask you to shrink, but to expand. Someone who sees you, truly sees you, and never uses what they see against you. This soul arrives with timing so perfect it interrupts your pattern of disbelief. They are not sent to fix you. They are sent to walk with you. Two aligned paths meeting, not to merge completely, but to flow side by side without suffocating the other. And if you already have someone in your life, this message deepens. The person meant for you rises to match your growth. They evolve. They soften. They awaken. Your evolution becomes the catalyst for theirs. Now let me bring you into the divine justice that has been echoing since the beginning. The energy of justice is not passive. It is active, sharp, decisive. And it is already moving in your favor. Every lie that was said about you will be exposed. Every manipulation that was done behind your back will unravel. Every attempt to sabotage you will collapse under its own weight. The very people who tried to dim your light will face darkness in their own paths. Not as punishment, but as a consequence of their choices. And you? You rise untouched. Your elevation is your revenge. Your success becomes the justice. Your peace becomes the closure. The universe shows me a beautiful moment where you receive something you once cried for. A moment where you realize that everything you wanted was always meant to find you. But first you had to be free. Free from the person who doubted you. Free from the pattern that confined you. Free from the guilt that wasn't yours. Free from the expectations that drained you. Free from the fear that disguised itself as logic. Because liberation is not loud. It is silent. It is the feeling of waking up one day and realizing you no longer carry what once broke you. And now I must tell you something that feels like a whisper from your own soul. You are stepping into a timeline where miracles are no longer rare, they become normal. You will begin to see synchronicities everywhere. Repeating numbers. Sudden insights. Dreams that feel like messages. People speaking words you needed to hear at the exact moment you needed to hear them. Opportunities arriving before doubt has time to speak. This is not fantasy. This is alignment. You have entered a spiritual acceleration where the universe responds to your energy instantly. This is why your decrees matter. This is why your decisions matter. This is why your boundaries matter. You are no longer operating at the frequency of survival. You are operating at the frequency of abundance. Speaking of abundance, I see a specific turning point regarding money. It looks like a new stream of income, or a raise, or a project that becomes unexpectedly profitable. Something long delayed finally moves. Something long stagnant comes to life. And what is most surprising is that it feels effortless, because effortlessness is what happens when you stop resisting your rightful path. Love and work blend in perfect symmetry as your next months unfold. But the most powerful transformation is internal. Your confidence becomes unshakable. Your intuition becomes undeniable. Your peace becomes your priority. You become the kind of person who walks into a room and changes the atmosphere. Not through force, but through presence. Before I close this reading, the universe asks me to give you one final message, one that wraps everything you've heard into a single truth. You are not stepping into your future. Your future is stepping into you. This is why the signs have been intensifying. This is why your energy has been shifting. This is why endings have piled up. You are being prepared not for a chapter, but for a transformation. To seal this reading, write in the comments, "I accept the destiny that was waiting for me." And as a final act of alignment, honor this message with the energy of gratitude. Gratitude multiplies blessings, opens portals, softens paths, and amplifies miracles. What comes next for you is victory. What comes next is love. What comes next is clarity, abundance, and divine protection. Your steps are guided, your path is open, and your spirit is ready. And remember this, Libra. Every single thing that left your life was clearing space for everything that is now arriving. Your story does not end in loss. Your story ends in triumph.